Going off our M and Q trade for today. All right, so this is the chart on the hourly. I was looking for a move up based off of what was it? Yeah, yeah. I was looking for a move up based on this hourly low on sell side liquidity. I was marking out some lows, sell side liquidity for me to roughly take. I scaled to the 15 minute. As we can see on the 15 minute, we see breaker structure towards the downside. Yeah, we have breaker structure on the downside. So right here, which is this huge move candle down. This was a nice setup, nice unicorn trade. We go to the 5 minute. That's when we start really breaking down the trade. Um, yeah, this is this move. This was the rally I needed. Huge candle movement, huge. That's all I needed. I wanted price to have another like handle close right down below it. Actually I wanted price to close below the sell side liquidity, in which in fact it did. But then I hopped on the 1 hour to scale and to see that there was still sell side liquidity that needed to be swept. So we waited for that. Literally, as soon as that swept, I hunted for a setup. We had this inversion, but then we created a fair value gap here. Then we had a break of structure here. Then we had a hammer candle here. So this was like an A plus plus setup all around. Then we have break of structure here. Like had a great BPR. Went in off of this right here. Literally went in off of this BPR. I use this as an inversion fair value gap. But then we rode this all the way up for a 1 to 4. This was our fair value gap. This was another fair value gap for more confluence to push higher. And then we used this fair value gap as well with this breaker structure here for a 1 to 2. This was just a mental trade. This wasn't like necessarily like a trade. But then for this one right here, we sweep recent buy side liquidity. We swept that. We waited for our rally. This is another A plus setup. We waited for a rally. We waited for a breaker structure with a displacement. Price necessarily didn't retrace back into it, but we had this inversion fair value gap here. And inversion fair value gap there. We took it here. We just rode this all the way down, and we continue to break structure and have candles flows below breaking structure. So that was more confluence to what I needed. And then we had more breaker structure. We had an order block here and roughly here and here. So yeah. And then we had fair value gap here with a breaker structure towards the downside with this huge fair value gap. But then since the price tapped into it once, oops, since the price already tapped into it once, I use that as an inversion for like some type of, I use it as some type of like support and resistance level. And we wrote this all the way down for a, what was it? a 1 to 2.5, 1 to 3. Then these was our take profits right here. And yeah, that was literally the trades. Like as you can see here, like you see how price just like chops around this area.